Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Stella the Light. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. It's going to be another one of my sort of rapid fire Q&As, the ones where I just try to very quickly go over each of the questions, get like a pretty broad answer over them, and not go too into detail. I might end up going into detail on a few because I like to do that, but only on a few that I find are necessary to go into detail on. So I posted on my Instagram probably 2 or 3 days ago, and I asked you guys to ask me questions. And then I screenshot all of them and I'm gonna swipe through, and I haven't actually looked at all of them, so they're kind of gonna be random. I'm not gonna know what they are, so that I guess goes along with the rapid fire. I got in touch with an amazing woman named Alex on Instagram, and she does pottery. And I ended up getting my order in from her because she does small batch releases, which I love. And each piece that she does is super, super unique. And like, look at that drip down the bottom. You can purchase a mug anywhere really, and you'd have a run-of-the-mill mug, or you could purchase a mug from an actual human being, an amazing, genuine human being, and support them. But yeah, so if you guys want to check her out, I will link her down below. Honestly, follow her. She posts some amazing, cool stories. She's always posting like her creations, when she's creating, how she creates. But yeah, so that's that. So there is so many questions here. I screenshotted like a bunch of them. I'm gonna try, wow, there really is a lot. I'm gonna try to quickly go through as many as I possibly can. First question, how did you experience college? Was it a good time in your life or kind of a struggle? So for me, just personally, it was a struggle. I started college and everything was going pretty smoothly, and that was during the time though that I started getting into drugs, and my mental health was very, very low during that time, and that kind of stemmed my drug addiction. So that was a really, really rough time for me when I first went to college for graphic design. And after that, I did go back to school for dietetics and nutrition. I was also going through a rough time during that period, but that was also when I found veganism. So it was kind of like, you know, that stage of my life was kind of I don't know what to call it, like a bigger transformation, I guess. Said I wasn't gonna go into detail. But yeah, so during both of those times, I was struggling, but I found peace at the very end through veganism during my time in college for dietetics and nutrition. How has your diet changed from the beginning of going plant-based until now? My diet has not changed. I eat, you know, the same way. I eat plant-based. I eat from every single food group. I don't stuff myself, nor do I limit my food. So I've never been one to push calories, and I've never been one to limit calories. It's just based off of intuition. So I followed intuitive eating basically from day one. It was harder in the beginning, of course. Now it's really easy. I mean, I don't even have to think about it. In the beginning, of course, I had to think, almost overthink about it, but yeah, things have been pretty much the same, and I think that's why I believe in this lifestyle so much, and why I believe in what I promote and what I teach people, because I've done it for 5 years straight, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, and I've done the same thing for 5 years. I do want to say very quickly, I see a lot of people who are going unvegan. If you do take a look at these people, you will notice that they are changing their diet through veganism. So they were vegan, but they will be raw vegan. They will do juice cleanses. They will do low carb. They will do heavy workout routines and things like that. So I don't promote that. I just promote plant-based, whole foods, intuitive eating, intuitive fitness, basically intuition all around. And I think that that's where people struggle the most, no matter if you're eating meat, dairy, or vegan. If you are dieting or promoting some irrational eating system, it's not going to work for you, and it's not going to work for anyone else. And I think that it's careless to be promoting, you know, severe diets. But anyways, okay, I don't really want to go too deep into that. I might film a video on the whole going on vegan thing, but I'm not totally sure. What's your Starbucks order if you have one? So I don't go to Starbucks. I don't really go and get drinks out. That's not something me and Damon ever have really done. But I will say that every once in a while we do go to Dunkin' Donuts, and if we do, we get a decaf hazelnut with extra almond milk. that's it. That's the extent. And we have like this thermos that they use, but we'll do that like once in a blue moon. Otherwise, we don't, and it's usually while we're traveling. We'll be like, oh my god, I want like a warm drink and I'm missing my Dandy or something like that. And coffee tastes kind of like Dandy, but Dandy's so much better. If you guys don't know what Dandy Blend is. What type of hiking boots do you use? I'm in need of a new pair, thanks in advance. So my hiking boots are like years and years and years old. They are not vegan, but I do have a hiking pair of boots, or shoes actually, by the brand Xero, Xero. They are vegan and they are eco-friendly, and they have boots, they have sandals, they have all different things. So I would check those guys out. What's the biggest negative about your traveling / living life? I don't really find any negatives, honestly. The biggest negative thing about traveling and living my life, I honestly don't think that I have anything super negative. If anything, it's something I can usually rationalize. So I'll say like, you know, not having a kitchen, but that's not really a negative. That's just, you know, it isn't a negative when it comes down to it, because I get to travel the world. Will you ever do anything like a what's in my fridge, freezer, pantry? I don't have a fridge, freezer, and pantry of my own, but eventually when I do, like we travel so much, and even while we're traveling, we switch where we're staying every couple weeks or every month. So I never really have a full setup. I could though, I've done grocery hauls here and there, but eventually when I have a fridge and pantry, I definitely will do a tour of all those. I'll probably end up doing them quite frequently, but again, while we're traveling, it's just not conducive because things are a mess. Sometimes our Airbnbs contain other people's food and items and things like that. So it's like not my kitchen that I'm showing off, not my pantry or my fridge. It's like someone else's basically. But eventually, yeah, definitely. What skincare products do you use right now? So currently right now I am using Osea skincare products, and then I'm using just my everyday cocoa butter that I use. I've always loved how cocoa butter works on my own skin. Sometimes it doesn't work for people because it is heavier in oils. It works well for me during the winter time. During the summertime, I use a Trader Joe's moisturizer, but I got the Atmosphere cream from Osea and I'm really loving it. I love Osea. I think I have a code for them that will give you a free travel size. I will link that down in the description. I'll link any brands that I really mention in this video down in the description for you guys. I love your style. Do you thrift your clothes or do you have any favorite stores? So for majority of my clothes, I do thrift. Or I will buy from an eco-friendly company, usually one that I find off of Instagram. There are several that I really love, but Poshmark by far is where I get most of my clothes, or just thrift stores. Like this sweater right here is from a thrift store. This tank top I got a while ago. It's just most of my clothes are like older, like this sweater is really old, and I keep them. I make sure that when I'm buying an item or thrifting an item or buying something new or old or used or whatever, I always look at it and I think, am I going to use the hell out of this, or am I just gonna wear it once and then never use it again? So I try to make sure that I do that. Now, are there special occasions where I have bought things that I think, well, I'm probably only gonna wear this once? Yes, but then I usually resell it or give it away or something like that. I never really keep things that I know I'm not going to use. Is there any supplements that you use? There's one supplement that I use, and that's B12. I take B12 weekly, 3,000 micrograms about. I think it's 2,500 or 3,000, and I take that every Sunday if I remember. I know some people take other supplements, but over the course of the 5 years of me being vegan, I have only ever diligently taken B12. There's not any other like vitamins or pills that I've ever taken. My B12 level was actually low prior to going vegan, so when I was a meat and dairy eater, my B12 was low, so that was something I was keeping up with then, and then I just kept up with it now that I am vegan. And I think that's just due to our soil being depleted. Have you ever been to Puerto Rico? No, but I would love to. How many hours do you usually sleep? So I usually get like 8+ hours, but there are some nights where I get like 3 hours or 4 hours just when I can't sleep. But that's only every once in a while, and it actually happened not last night, but the night before. And then what I do is I just make sure I take it easy and get enough sleep the next night. But most of the time I get 8+ hours at least, like 7, 8, 9 is usually my range, or what I think my range is in. My battery's gonna die, so I need to switch it. All right, I just switched my battery out. How many bananas do you use to make your banana whip? I really don't know because I break my bananas up, but I would say probably 3 to 5 bananas. How do you maintain enough dietary protein from the plant-based diet? So if you think about it, the animals that most people eat are only ever eating plants. So that's where they get their protein. And essentially I get my protein from the same thing. If you think of the sayings like strong as an ox only eats plants and he's the strongest and has the most muscle. Same with like gorillas. Gorillas only eat plant foods and they have amazing muscle mass. So again, protein comes from plants, originates from plants, so I just go straight to the plants rather than eating the actual animal. Now, is it as saturated of a protein? No, but I get enough protein, enough of the right proteins, and it's not an acidic, belly busting, you know, protein that's gonna rise up your cholesterol. So protein from plants, and just plants, only plants, that's it. How you deal with PMS. So this isn't something that I exactly deal with. I don't do anything specific other than, I mean, I guess you could consider PMS as being like you're in a bad mood. So I do it probably in the same way that I would if I was in a bad mood. I'm just gentle with myself. It's almost like when I PMS, it's like a low mental health day for me. And it isn't a low mental health day in a sense of like I'm depressed, but it's just like I can tell something's off. So I just, you know, make sure I'm really, really gentle with myself and I really take care of myself those few days. So just eating right, hydrating, getting my body moving, sleeping enough, getting out in the sunshine, things like that. Very, very simple. You know, ways to take care of yourself. How do you deal with negative friends who are important to you but also drain your energy? I will honestly say that I have no friends that drain my energy or that are negative, because if they were to be that negative impact in my life or to drain my energy in such a manner that I can't cope with it, I would essentially drop them. It's just how I am. I don't have the time or energy. I think in the past I have spent so much time on people like that, and I have felt like I needed to keep them in my life, or I needed to prove something to them or fix them, or, you know, something like that. And I think that from my growth over the past few years and learning what I deserve and what I want from my life, I've kind of learned that like you do just need to drop them. Now you can have a serious conversation with them if they're open to it, but most negative energy draining people are not open to those types of conversations. So you can try to have a conversation with them and say, you know, I would really appreciate it if you changed this, or if we could work on this in our friendship, and maybe they'll be open to it, or maybe they'll say, I know I'm doing this and I know I need to change it. But again, it's not your responsibility to keep people in your life who are draining you. It's not your responsibility to, you know, fix them or deal with them or keep them in your life. You might really love them and they might be super important to you, but depending, it might be time to release them, or for a little bit of time release them and go back to it and see if they've changed. But yeah. What's your favorite characteristic about yourself? That's a really, really hard one, actually. I think my favorite characteristic recently about myself is that I am very open to changing and growth. I think that I'm so grateful to myself for finally being open to changing who I am and how I react to things, and, you know, all different aspects of myself, changing for the better, you know, changing and opening my mind and learning and growing and healing. I'll call it healing. I'm just so open to healing these past few years, and I'm so grateful to myself for finally just giving up whatever walls I had put up, because I wouldn't allow myself to heal before because I had these brutal walls put up that I was like, no, there's no change that needs to be done. I am just gonna live this way forever kind of deal. So I think that's my favorite characteristic, my openness, how open and receiving I am lately. Okay, I think this video is probably gonna be super long. I meant to go through the questions super quickly, but I always have so much to say on each topic. If you guys have any questions about anything that I answered, please leave them down in the comments below, or just leave me a comment in general, because I love talking to you guys in the comments. If you have any video suggestions, you can leave those in the comments. Any feedback, any additions to my answers, leave them in the comments. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel so you can watch all of my videos coming up. I am about to leave in a few weeks to go drive across the country from Pennsylvania to Washington State for the summer. I'm gonna be taking my travel van. Travel van, is that what you call it? I don't know. I'm gonna be taking my van that has a bed in the back and traveling all the way across the country with that. And I'd love it if you came along. I hope you guys really love this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you for the next video.
All we do is drive around aimlessly, trying to forget who we want to be, trying to just breathe and be carefree, baby, you and me. Head up in the stars, driving fast cars, feeling like we're outlaws with our deep scars and our fast cars.